All right. So your question was, what do I do?
Yes, everyone, welcome. Welcome back. Today we have a very special guest. We've been trying to record like 5 times and the resistance has been strong.
They weren't ready for my message. See, now my friend that does the astrology, she said no one wants to hear my message till the Mercury in retrograde goes away out of my sign of Sagittarius, and that just
Ah,
happened this week. See, so they were not ready for my message.
you know what? I had that same feeling and I was like, I know this is what's up. So yeah, we're out of the retrograde and we're good. And this is Reina.
Yes. And what I do is I channel, kind of like what Abraham Hicks does, where I channel the higher realms, Divine Mother, Divine Father, the collective is how they like to refer to themselves. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I got a master's in metaphysics. I'm a Peruvian trained shaman, but Spirit started channeling to me a new method of shamanism because the word shaman is so overused. It's like it's almost even culturally inflammatory because the natives don't refer to themselves as shaman, they're medicine men and women. But you know when a white individual takes over another culture's words and verbiage or whatever, it can seem inflammatory, especially when it's something that is the first shaman. When you were in a tribe, they were the holy men and they were the healers because they believed all healing came from God, right?
Right.
And so what Spirit was telling me was this training you did with the tools where we use rattles and drums and we use all these sacred tools to heal others. We need a new way because it doesn't resonate with the younger generation. And so they started speaking to me in terms of technology. And they were calling it celestial shamanism, which the word celestial shaman has been out there for a while. They call them galactic shaman, celestial shaman. And then I went and I studied with Yvonne Perry, and we co-facilitated a celestial shaman retreat, and we had a long discussion, and we determined that Spirit was giving her the same messages too about referring to the human body like a computer, like you're getting your upgrades, you're integrating your multidimensional self. When you're going in and you're rescripting the Akashic records, you're clearing out old programs, right? When you're putting
Yes.
on your protection layer, you're putting in your antivirus and your firewall and that kind of stuff. And so Spirit had been coming to her and telling her the same message they had been giving me, and they were calling it celestial shamanism because it goes outside the galaxy. If you think about the Milky Way galaxy, if you call it galactic shamanism, then you're assuming that it's just related to this galaxy, but it's not. It's at the highest level, at the Christ itself, at the highest realm, celestial guides. You've got star beings that are guides, and that's the key component of celestial shamanism, is learning how to connect with your celestial guides and your star being team so that they can come in and assist you in healing yourself, healing your trauma, so that you can go forth and heal others. And so now Yvonne Perry's writing the book on celestial shamanism, and I'm training people in celestial shamanism, because even though the term has been out there, there's been no standardized curriculum for what is a celestial shaman and what type of
Yeah.
training does a celestial shaman need to
Yes.
do that. And it's really a whole bunch of different modalities. It involves like Reiki, which is energy healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what a celestial shaman is. You either channel information like a trance medium, like I do,
Mm-hmm.
you channel healing like Reiki, or you channel a combination of both, which is light language. Light language is information that comes through, but it's also healing because it's a soul language. So celestial shamanism just takes all of that and puts it into one package so that today's shaman can be those planetary healers that they are, because that's what the celestial shaman are. They are the healers of their communities.
Yes. I am just blown away because as you were speaking, I didn't realize I've only spoken to you like once on one of your calls and like through like Instagram, and I didn't realize that that's what you did. we have a lot of similarities. It's kind of eerie.
Oh, I know that. When you were telling me what you did, I was like, she's a
Yeah.
celestial shaman.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, because I've been doing that as well, and I actually haven't done it as much publicly yet because I've still been like in training with my guides, and I was like, how am I going to present this? Because like I don't know a lot of people who present this to the world, so I was like trying to feel like they're like, just do it, and I'm like, but I gotta have explanations.
Well, that's the explanation. And the truth is, a lot of these star seeds that are here on the ascension mission, they don't have any planetary teachers left. That's what happened to
Yeah.
me. I don't
Wow.
have any planetary teachers left because I am the one here to bring back the old knowledge. We are the
Wow.
ones here to bring back the old knowledge that has,
Yeah.
that hidden wisdom that's been locked away. They're channeling that to all of us star seeds that are on this ascension path mission to raise the vibration of this planet and to help humanity. It's like, the 100 monkey effect. If enough of us incarnate here as the light workers that we are, then we have an effect on those who are not. And that's the goal
Yes.
here. And
Yeah.
so those of us who are here, we can find guides. So you can go get your certification. You can come train from me. But really, all I'm going to train you to do is how to connect to your galactic guides, because that's your real teachers.
Yeah.
Because we are so
Absolutely.
far advanced than the humans here, on a spiritual level, that we can have guides that help us remember who we are, right? Because we forget who we are when we incarnate. We can have
Yeah.
guides that can remind us. But really, at the end of the day, we need to learn to connect to our own guides, our own galactic teachers, and let them channel that information to us.
That's perfect, and that's beautiful, and we spoke about this when we first talked, and that's what Zadkiel did for me, like basically reminded me of everything, and I was like, wow, it was a lot to take in, but I'm like so grateful for it, and that's what I'm trying to do, is to help people, you know, do this as well, awaken to their gifts and learn to connect, and it really is within you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's all about being open to integrating those higher dimensional versions of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like upgrading a computer. We need to constantly be working with our guides to connect more into our higher selves, so that we
Yes.
can
Yeah.
be that highest version of our soul here on this planet to do the work.
Yeah.
And I have seen, when I do my channelings and my healings, they will install, is the way they call it, like etheric technology. So
Mm-hmm.
they will give you a gift, and they're calling it your birthright. Like mine is, I have this thing they call the mask of ubiquity. It is supposedly, obviously there's no mask on my face, but there
Right.
is some type of invisible mask that those who are called to this mission, when they see my face, something clicks in their brain and they say, oh, I've got a soul mission. I've got a purpose. I've got to figure out what it is, and I need to go do it. And it's like, it triggers them.
It
And so
does.
I have
Yeah.
seen them give these gifts to so many different people, these invisible technologies that have an effect on the human frequency or the human thought pattern. It literally,
Yeah.
like, I cause you, the code that's in this mask will cause a program to start running in you that says, find your soul mission.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I don't know what mine's called, but it's some kind of like shield that, like, when I'm around people, it makes them so uncomfortable, and it triggers change, and it triggers healing on like a soul level. And it's like I could see it happening. It's so amazing.
So what does your guides tell you that is?
I well, I picture it as kind of like a frequency that
Oh
kind
God,
of like,
they're coming in. They want to tell you what it is.
okay.
I didn't know I was going to start channeling during this, but it's
We
like,
love this.
it's like, it's like a transmutation shield is what it does, so that when you get, it triggers them, like you say, it's like it triggers the shadow self. It triggers them to look at those sides of themselves that they don't like, so that they can change those things. It's almost like one of those things where, if you can imagine a person that just gets on your nerves so bad because what you don't like about them is what you don't like about yourself, it's like that. It just
Yeah.
brings out the worst in people, and they take it out on you. It's like, oh, I don't like you. But really, they don't like themselves. And so you're making them go into themselves and realize, you know, these things about
Yeah.
themselves that they need to change. That, yeah, that's one of your etheric gifts. You've also got another gift. What's the other one? Okay, so you broadcast light as a frequency. It's like you're a beam of light, like a lighthouse. So not only do you trigger them, but you give them the light so that they can heal themselves as well. So you do that too. So
Oh,
it's not like you just give them, oh, I'm going to agitate you and bite you like a
yeah.
mosquito. I'm going to give you the salve that makes that nicer, right? I
Yes.
have these healing services
Yes.
that can help you deal with all these things that I've triggered in you. And so now I'm not just going to give you, you know, the diagnosis. I'm going to give you the remedy too. So
Thank you for putting that into words, because I knew what it was, and I've been, and it's like, it's hard to communicate to people what it is, but that was a very beautiful channeling of what it is. And I know it and I see it, and it's so hard to know what's going on, and you can't just, you know, to see that trigger happen to people around you. And I tell you, like, I'm like a lone warrior because everyone around me has been triggered. And it's like, okay, you go do your healing now.
right.
You're welcome.
Yep. Yep.
But
They're
you can't
saying
tell
you,
people that.
yeah, they are saying you are like love in motion. It's like, you
Oh,
know, like we are all like a part of God on this planet. You are love. You are God's love here on this planet. That is what you
I'm not gonna cry today.
are.
I cried a lot last weekend because I was doing lots of healing. I'm like, but if I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. But that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. It is definitely a message that I think I needed to hear. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you. You're such a gift. And I
Oh, thank
definitely
you.
saw that in you when I first, like, this happens to me when I see people. Like, I could think of so many times where I've met people and I couldn't put it into words what I was seeing. Now I can. It's your light, obviously.
Oh,
But it's like, like, it's so bright to me. Like,
mhm.
but it's like, I used to wonder, like, does everyone see this? And I think they do on some level, but I definitely felt that connection when I first saw you, and all the
Because we in the
important
same
people.
line of work.
We are. I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you. Wow.
So what other
What a
questions do you
gift.
have for me?
Like, well, like, I really don't have, like, I just wanted to know, like, just, this is more for like the people who are watching, and to like give them some um insight. Like, what was your awakening? Like, what was the trigger for you? Like,
I was a walk-in soul, so I went through a very abusive, emotionally and physically abusive marriage,
yeah,
and I had got to a point to where just I wanted to just check out of it. And I remember the night that I took a Valium and I drank wine, and I said, God, I hope I don't die in my sleep. I literally remember this night, but I woke
yeah,
up the next morning, and then something just shifted. So I left my husband. I come off all my medications the doctor had me on to deal with that, you know, depression and, you know, the Valium, everything they put me on. You know, the real prescription I needed was a divorce, right?
yeah, yeah.
And so I left my husband. I came back here. I came back home, and I started a business. And then I started on my spiritual path because I was 100 pounds overweight. I had put on weight to protect myself from, you
Yeah,
know, that
yeah,
situation, because that's the way the subconscious works, right? It will
it
take the
does.
shortest route to you know, and it, so I gained 100 pounds. So I got into the shamanic work and the Reiki to try to heal myself, which is how a lot of healers start. They start out healing themselves, and
Right.
then they figure out they can heal other people.
Yeah.
And so in the course of that, I figured out I was a trance medium. I hired a mentor to teach me more about trance mediumship. And one day she just quit on me. She quit.
Aw.
She
Yeah.
said, you need to go talk to your soul. And I was like, okay. And she told me how to do that. And I thought, well, it's my soul. Shouldn't I be able to just call it up anytime I want to, right? But evidently there's a technique to connecting to your soul. And so she taught it to me, and I did that. And the reason my guides did that was because they had come to her and said there was a piece of the puzzle I hadn't figured out, and she can't tell me what it is. Now, your guides will do that. You can hire psychics all day long, but if you haven't figured out an integral part of the puzzle, they'll shut me down. Like if I'm doing a reading for you and it's something for you to figure out, they were like, nope, we're not talking. They've got things to figure out. And so the thing I had to figure out was that I had assumed when I'm doing my mediumship that I am just dialing up some dead human, right? Like Jesus or, you know, old grandfather, somebody on the other side, right? Who was walked on this planet as human at some point. Well, I was listening to a podcast one day and I just started crying, and I didn't know why. It was because what this guy was explaining was, I'm not talking to these deceased individuals. I am literally like picking up a cell phone and calling a living star being in another galaxy is what I'm doing. So once I accepted the fact that these beings that I work with aren't deceased humans, they are living entities who are, you know, higher level beings like angels, immortals, that type of thing, star beings that live millions of years or whatever. Some don't even have bodies, some are energetic. Once I accepted the fact that I'm talking to living entities on the other side, then the floodgates opened. Then they started channeling. I was able to embrace my full trance mediumship abilities. They started helping me integrate higher versions of myself. They were teaching me the celestial shamanism. And that was the breakthrough, was acknowledging that there are these higher beings that are here to work with us and to teach us. So that's my story and how I got where I am now. I went on a quest. That's how I ended up getting my master's in metaphysics and getting the training in the shamanism. And really, the celestial shamanism works the same way as the Peruvian shamanism. It's the same outcome of, you know, you're retrieving the soul fragments, you're integrating back into everything that you know, they say you lost it, but it really never went anywhere. It's like defragging a computer. They're just going and finding the pieces and bringing it back, right? And making you, you know, I've heard them use the term, we're reinstalling Windows. We're putting you back to the matrix code, right? This is how you were built to come out of the factory, right? And we've gotten into this 3D matrix, and we have forgotten that we are that thing. We are source here in action on this planet. And so the goal is for us to integrate into that highest aspect of ourselves, or Christ itself, so that we can be these powerful beings here on this planet. And one of the things that I noticed that starseeds struggle with is fear. And I, even as a child, fear of stepping into our power. It's like, we know, and it's a joke. It's like I used to joke, the world cannot handle me at my full power. You know? But really, we feel that way because of the importance of our mission. And so we will deliberately dumb ourselves down. We will dim that light. We will hide out of fear, because there's been many times in the past where we've been persecuted for being what we are. We've been burned at the stake. We've been beheaded. We've had our power sucked out of us. We've been subjugated. I mean, they have done so many things to us throughout history to not have the ascension happen, right? And so we have fear. And I've worked with a hypnotist who is putting together a program now that I'm going to present that will help starseeds release that fear of stepping into their full power and being what they are. Because it's a subconscious thing. The subconscious wants to dim it down and dumb it down so that, you know, you don't shine so bright, you don't stand out, and you're not this beautiful light being that you are. But my message to everybody out there is, I need you to be what you are, because the soldiers are getting called to battle, and we got to shine, right? Because that armor is that light. So
that's exactly what they've been calling it too, like a call to arms, like get ready.
The time is now.
You've trained for this your entire life.
And you are etherically and physically built for this. So they have modified our DNA. Every time they upgrade me more into my higher self, and you connect higher up, you know, you connect to the I am, and then you just keep going up. Every time they do that, they are changing you physically and etherically, like literally.
Yeah.
So they are equipping you for this.
I know. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Like I told you when we first spoke, I kept getting that song, This Is What You Came For. And you've
Yes.
been getting it too. I
Yes,
was
that
like,
is exactly the song. Or they'll say, the time is now, the time is now. And
yeah.
they'll call people to action. And that was the other thing they wanted to say was, it's one thing to know what you are and know what you can do, and a total another thing to act on it. So knowledge without
Yeah.
action is nothing. It means
Absolutely.
nothing to go get all these certifications. It means nothing to know what you are. It means nothing to do all these things unless you do something about it. So you have to spread that message, and you've got to
Yeah.
spread those gifts so that others can step into their power, because we're here to heal each other.
Yes. I love that. Wow. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, not really. Just that
Yeah.
I need you guys to get in the
To
battle.
go. Yes.
Put your armor on.
Pick
Shine
up your
your light.
shield, get your sword,
That's
and
right.
go.
That's right.
I
And
love
if
it.
you feel called to celestial shamanism, bluestartribe.com is where I'm teaching that class at. It's 2 parts. The first part is an online introduction to celestial shamanism, where you can take the class and you can learn about the principles of celestial shamanism and the introduction to it. And then part 2 is going to be a 5-day in-person retreat where they learn hands-on how to heal
Aww.
others. So part 1 is you learn how to heal yourself, and you're going through that whole transformational process
Mm-hmm.
and learn to build that relationship with your guides so that they can teach you. And then part 2 is the hands-on part where you become the healer and assist others in healing. So that's how I've got that broken up, but you can find that on bluestartribe.com
Awesome.
for those who
That's
are
great.
interested in that.
That sounds so cool. I look forward to doing retreats again. Like I want to host one so badly. Like either here, like my eyes are set on Hawaii, but right now there's like a 2-week quarantine period. And it's like
Right.
not gonna happen right now. But yeah, that's awesome.
There are a lot of starseeds here in this area, a lot out of
Yeah.
Greenville and Asheville. And where I'm at, I'm 1 hour from Charlotte, Asheville, and Greenville.
Yeah.
And I got 16 acres. So if you want to do a retreat, we could do one
Oh,
here. We should
we're
plan
doing it.
one.
We're doing it. It's happening. I love it. That's awesome. And I love Asheville. Like, wow, definitely great
It's
energy
a
there.
cool town, isn't it?
It is.
There's
It's
an
so
energy
cool.
vortex. I haven't figured out where it
Uh-huh.
is, but that whole, there's one in Tryon too. Tryon feels a little different than the rest of the world. When you go downtown
Cool.
Tryon,
Yeah.
yeah, there's like
I
a
haven't been
vibe
there.
there. I don't know what it is, but it feels like the Asheville vibe
You
where
could definitely feel the difference.
mhm.
It's like as soon as I hit the line, I'm like, oh, there's a shift here.
Yep. It's weird, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm actually doing this week, I'm uploading the module for portals in the Celestial Shaman class. So I want to talk about
Cool.
portals.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
Mhm.
It's so cool because like I'm an author and I write fantasy and I have been writing this stuff my entire life since 11 years old. And
Oh,
it's like
you
now
knew.
I know.
You knew what
It's
the invisible
amazing.
world was.
Yes. And to think back of what I was writing, the depths of what I knew, to like see it from this perspective, I was like, I thought I was making this stuff up.
Oh, spirit will channel the craziest stuff to me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, there is no way that that is true. And then it will
Yeah.
happen. And I'm like, they channeled this COVID stuff last year.
Yeah, I got it too. I email it to myself. Everything I email to myself, and I was like, it was a very interesting time because like they were telling me, and I was like, what do I do? How do I prepare? They're like, you're good. Just trust we're gonna take you every step. And I was like, okay.
They didn't tell me what it was, but they
Yeah,
said, we need you to start prepping, start saving food, and
yeah,
start being self-sustaining. And
yes.
and they were basically saying, get right with the Lord in your sustainability practices, right?
Yeah,
You know, start canning food, because you know,
yeah,
down here in the South, we were trained to can food, and you know, we my husband deer hunts, so it's like we
Oh,
can go out.
perfect combo.
Yeah, so it's like I've got a freezer full of deer, and I've got stuff canned up, but they wouldn't tell me what it was. But I will
Yeah.
say this: they told me it was a dry run, so I don't know what's coming next.
I've been seeing, and like they basically told me to get out the city, and I was like, I gotta leave my place. They're like, yeah. I was like, okay. And everyone thought I was like insane, but like I left, came out here to the country. But I've been seeing like I think we're all getting like a little glimpse,
Mm-hmm.
like we're all getting like little like visions and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
like
want
this is
spirit
just the
wants
beginning.
spirit doesn't say it in a fearful way.
Yes,
Spirit says it in a way of be prepared. And from what I
yes.
understand, this is, all human collective consciousness. We all have decisions, right? And so
Mm,
we are affected by the collective. So if we all go about it as a means of being prepared versus because we're afraid, then
yeah,
that's the way to do it. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know I don't know if it's, the dry run is like another COVID wave, or we've got this whole race thing going on. Is there a civil
Yeah.
war? I don't know what's going on, but they're telling
It's
me get ready. So
it's all coming up to be cleared basically.
yes,
All
it
the
is.
shadows aspects are coming up to be cleared. Yeah.
Yes, it is for the nations too, for
Yes.
the whole world.
For the whole world, Earth's going through a rebirth.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. So I
uh,
listened. I'm like you. I'll put it. I've got Evernote, and I put my channeled
yeah.
messages in there, and I'll go back and I'll look. I said, I think Spirit told me something
Uh-huh.
about this, and I'll go back and read. And I was like it's all like it's like after the fact, it makes so much sense, right? After the fact,
It
it makes a
does.
lot of sense. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like before the fact, it's like I don't know, this is very enigmatic what you're telling me, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna write it down because it's gonna mean something later.
Yes, gotta write it down.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. I want to chat with you some more after we're done recording.
Okay, well, let's do that. So
But make sure
anyone.
you guys check her out. Tell them all of your social media.
Oh, okay. So I am on Instagram. I've got two profiles. I've got the Blue Star Tribe. It's at Blue Star Tribe. And that website's bluestartribe.com. That's where I talk about celestial shamanism, and you can find the training and that kind of stuff. And then I have Reina DeLuna, DELUNA.com. That's my personal website where you can find my services, which you can find them on Blue Star Tribe too. But my channeling services, my soul healing services. So the soul purpose channeling session, we talk about what it is you came to do, what it is that's keeping you from doing it. And then the soul purpose healing session, we go in and we clear those things that we found during the channeling session. And some of your guides will come through and we'll integrate. You'll get your etheric gifts and that kind of stuff in the healing session. And I am on social media at the Reina DeLuna. That's on Facebook and on Instagram.
Awesome. Love it. Yes, please check her out. She's amazing, as you can see. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.